Ever imagine like years and years going to different doctors, test after test, and still no answers to what's wrong?
Yeah, it's a really tough reality for millions of people dealing with rare diseases.
It is. It's scary even. But what if the answer's been there all along, right in front of us?
In plain sight.
Yeah, our faces. Today we're diving into how AI and rare diseases, how AI is changing the game for these really complex conditions.
Yeah, no, it's a really exciting area. We're seeing a ton of groundbreaking development.
Oh, absolutely. And we've got a bunch of sources for this deep dive. We've got research papers, medical journal articles, even some wild news stories about AI diagnosing these rare diseases. One story that really sticks out is about a mom who cracked the code of her child's neurological disorder. And get this, she did it using ChatGPT after going to 17 different doctors who were all stumped.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy story. I think that one really caught everyone's attention, showing what AI can do in healthcare.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but before we get into that, let's back up a bit. What exactly are rare diseases and why are they so hard to diagnose?
So, a rare disease is defined as one affecting less than 200,000 people in the US.
Okay.
And globally, there are over 7,000 known rare diseases. These impact an estimated 300 million people. That's basically the entire population of the United States.
Wow.
So, the number of these diseases and how rare they are makes diagnosing them a huge challenge.
So are you saying most doctors just haven't seen enough cases to be able to recognize
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, the symptoms can often look like symptoms of way more common conditions, so that leads to misdiagnosis or just years spent looking in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And a lot of these rare diseases have a complicated genetic basis that we're really only beginning to understand.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how's AI being used to solve this problem?
AI is already being used in tons of areas in healthcare, like analyzing medical images, x-rays, scans, predicting what's going to happen with a patient, even personalizing treatment plans. But where it really shines is pattern recognition. It can look at huge amounts of data and see patterns that even the best doctors might miss.
Okay, so in our research, we found this AI system called GestaltMatcher. Sounds pretty futuristic.
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain how that works?
So GestaltMatcher uses facial recognition to help diagnose these rare genetic syndromes. It uses dysmorphology, which is the study of subtle facial features that are linked to certain genetic syndromes.
So wait, you're telling me that certain facial features can be like red flags for genetic disorders?
Yeah, exactly. And even doctors with a lot of experience can miss them. GestaltMatcher takes a photo of the patient's face and analyzes it, breaking it down into hundreds of data points. Then it compares those data points to a giant database of images and genetic info. So, for example, a child with Williams syndrome, they often have like an upturned nose, a wide mouth, a full lip. GestaltMatcher can see these little patterns and then suggest possible diagnoses.
Whoa, that's kind of like having a detective with superpowers.
Yeah, I like that analogy. And the coolest part is that this system is constantly learning, getting better thanks to machine learning.
That's what we hear everywhere these days. Machine learning this, machine learning that. Can you explain, in simple terms, how a machine actually learns how to diagnose a rare disease?
Imagine you feed an AI system thousands, millions of images, genetic sequences, patient records, lab results, all this information about symptoms, how the disease progresses, treatment responses. The AI starts to pick up patterns and connections between features and certain diseases.
The more info it gets, the better it becomes at making these connections.
Exactly. And they use different kinds of machine learning. One's called supervised learning, where they train the AI on labeled data. So, like, it's shown pictures or data points and told exactly what they are. Then there's deep learning, where they use these artificial neural networks to analyze data, kind of like how the human brain does.
I mean, it's wild how AI can see these little details that even the most trained doctors could miss.
It's pretty powerful stuff, but it's important to remember that AI is still in its early stages. There are challenges, there are limitations that we need to be aware of.
It does sound pretty optimistic. But let's face it, is AI really the magic cure for diagnosing rare diseases? What are the issues? Like, is 100% accuracy even possible?
Yeah, you're right on the money with those questions. One of the biggest hurdles is getting enough data. AI needs mountains of data to learn, and with rare diseases, that data can be really hard to come by.
Because there just aren't enough cases.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're building these big global medical databases to combine anonymous data from all around the world to solve that issue.
So more global teamwork is crucial.
Absolutely. We're also seeing a lot more emphasis on AI engineers teaming up with medical professionals. They need to work together to make sure these systems are accurate, they're reliable, and they're being used ethically.
You mentioned that story about the mom using ChatGPT to diagnose her child. I'd love to hear more about how that all went down.
It's a story that really got people thinking about the potential of AI in a whole new way. This mom, she had been going from doctor to doctor for a long time, trying to figure out what was wrong with her kid who was experiencing all these neurological symptoms. After seeing who knows how many doctors and having tons of tests done, she turned to ChatGPT, which is that AI chatbot developed by OpenAI. She just typed in her child's symptoms and hoped for the best.
And ChatGPT actually gave her a diagnosis.
Well, it kind of pointed her in the right direction. It suggested a rare genetic disorder that all those doctors had missed. And with this new information, the mom could really push for more testing. And that's what ultimately confirmed the diagnosis.
Wow, that's an amazing story. It makes you wonder, though, what are the implications of using these AI chatbots to diagnose medical problems?
Right. It definitely shows how AI can help people get information and empower patients. But we got to remember that these tools are not replacements for advice from a real doctor.
Right.
Like ChatGPT was trained on this massive amount of text and code, but it doesn't have medical expertise.
So it's more like a starting point, not the final word. I
Exactly.
mean, it's clear AI can help diagnose these rare diseases way better and faster, but 100% accuracy, that seems like a great goal. But AI is a tool, not a human replacement.
I agree.
Okay, one last thought for our listeners. If AI can diagnose these rare diseases, could it someday predict or even prevent them?
Hmm. That's a great question for the future. It really shows just how big of an impact AI is going to have on medicine.
It really does, yeah.